Ambassador Amina Mohammed Jibril is one of Kenya's most distinguished lawyers and diplomats, whose career has spanned more than 3 decades at the highest levels of national and international service. Born on October 5, 1961, in Amalemba, Kakamega County, she is of Somali descent and belongs to the Dulbahante clan. Her upbringing in Western Kenya, far from the regions traditionally associated with Somali communities, shaped her broad national outlook from an early age. Amina was born the eighth of 9 children in a modest household. Although her parents' names rarely appear in public records, their influence on her life was profound. Her father, a resident of Kakamega, was central to her sense of duty and family responsibility. During her early professional years, she is reported to have turned down lucrative international opportunities so she could remain close and care for him during a period of illness. Her mother was a firm believer in education and discipline, frequently visiting Amina's schools to monitor her academic progress and instill a strong work ethic. She grew up alongside several siblings who later became prominent in business. Among them were Yusuf Mohammed Jibril, a well-known businessman and chairman of Paddock Investments, who passed away in July 2018, and Ahmed Jibril, another respected businessman who died in March 2021 while in India. These family losses marked significant personal moments in her life. Amina's childhood in Amalemba was defined by curiosity and intellectual discipline. She was an avid reader, particularly drawn to detective fiction, with the Sherlock Holmes series being a favorite. This early love for analysis and problem-solving would later reflect in her legal and diplomatic career. She began her formal education at Kakamega Township Primary School, formerly Salvation Army Primary School, before proceeding to Butere Girls High School for her O-level studies. She later completed her A-level education at Highlands Academy, now known as Highlands Girls High School. Her academic journey then took her beyond Kenya's borders. On a scholarship, Amina enrolled at the Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv in Ukraine, where she earned her Bachelor of Laws, LLB, and later a Master of Laws, LLM, specializing in international law. Her exposure to Eastern Europe broadened her worldview and laid the foundation for her future in multilateral diplomacy. She later advanced her studies in the United Kingdom, obtaining a postgraduate diploma in international relations from the University of Oxford as a Chevening Fellow. Upon returning to Kenya, she undertook professional legal training at the Kenya School of Law and was admitted as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. In addition to her formal legal qualifications, she completed multiple professional courses through the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, UNITAR. Her international education also made her multilingual. She is fluent in Somali, English, Swahili, and Russian, with a working knowledge of French. In recognition of her extensive public service and global impact, Amina Mohammed has received several honorary doctorates, including a Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, from KCA University, as well as Doctor of Humane Letters awards from other institutions. Her professional career began in 1985 when she joined Kenya's Ministry of Local Government as a legal officer. From there, she steadily rose through the ranks of public service. Between 2000 and 2006, she served as Kenya's ambassador and permanent representative to the United Nations and other international organizations in Geneva, placing her at the heart of global diplomacy. In 2002, she made history as the first female chairperson of the International Organization for Migration and also served as president of the Conference on Disarmament. Her global stature continued to grow. In 2005, she became the first woman to chair the World Trade Organization (WTO) General Council, and a decade later, in 2015, she chaired the WTO's 10th Ministerial Conference. From 2011 to 2013, she served at the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, as Assistant Secretary General and Deputy Executive Director, one of the highest positions ever held by a Kenyan within the UN system. Back home, Amina Mohammed played a pivotal role in Kenya's constitutional history. From 2008 to 2011, as permanent secretary in the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, she supervised the redrafting process that culminated in the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution of Kenya, one of the most significant milestones in the country's governance. In 2013, she was appointed Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs, becoming the first woman to hold the position. During her tenure, Kenya hosted major global summits, including the World Trade Organization and UN CTAD conferences, significantly raising the country's international profile. In 2017, she was nominated as Kenya's candidate for chair of the African Union Commission, although she ultimately lost the bid after an expensive continental diplomatic campaign that later attracted public criticism. She was transferred to the Ministry of Education in 2018, a period that proved to be one of the most contentious phases of her career. Her leadership coincided with the rollout of the Competency-Based Curriculum, CBC, during which she briefly announced a postponement due to concerns over teacher preparedness, only to reverse the decision days later. She also faced backlash over proposals to lower entry grades for teacher training colleges in marginalized areas, comments on arresting HELB loan defaulters, and the implementation of the 100% transition policy, which, while achieving a record transition rate, strained school infrastructure nationwide. From 2019 to 2022, she served as Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Culture, and Heritage. Her tenure saw efforts to commercialize sports and preserve national heritage, but it was also marked by controversy. In 2021, she disbanded the Football Kenya Federation, or FKF, over alleged financial irregularities, leading to a brief FIFA suspension of Kenya for government interference. Toward the end of her term, questions were raised in the Senate regarding the management of the National Sports Fund. Beyond cabinet service, Amina Mohammed has continued to influence global governance. As of 2025, she serves as the Commonwealth Secretary General's Special Envoy for Sports, Enterprise, and Development, Chancellor of the International University of East Africa, and a member of key advisory bodies, including the International Olympic Committee Ethics Commission and the UNITAR Board of Trustees, where she is vice chair. She also leads the Alive Foundation, focusing on leadership development and youth empowerment. In her personal life, Amina Mohammed was married to Khalid Hossein Ahmed, an Ivy League-educated industrialist and businessman from 2002 until his death on July 29, 2021, at Karen Hospital in Nairobi after a short illness. She has often credited him as a major source of support throughout her demanding career. Together, they had 2 biological children, one of whom, Farial Noor Al-Hossein, has built a career in fashion and held managerial roles at global brands such as Gucci. The couple also raised 4 adopted children, reflecting Amina's strong commitment to extended family and social responsibility. Despite her long career in high office, Amina Mohammed's net worth has never been publicly disclosed. Unlike more recent cabinet appointees subjected to public wealth declarations, her financial details were not scrutinized in the same way at the time of her appointments. Her financial standing is generally inferred from her senior government salaries, a reported Kenya shillings 20.8 million gratuity upon leaving the cabinet in 2022, her continued international engagements, and the substantial business success of her late husband and siblings. Throughout her career, Ambassador Amina Mohammed has been both celebrated and criticized, a trailblazer who broke gender barriers in diplomacy, yet a public figure whose decisions often sparked intense national debate. Her life story reflects a blend of intellectual rigor, family devotion, global influence, and the complexities that come with serving at the very center of power in Kenya and on the world stage.